What's up everybody, it's Joe with J Blake Photo. So this week Sony announced their new a6400 mirrorless interchangeable lens camera. And you know, I'm not a Sony shooter, but man, that thing is interesting. So let's talk about it. Alright, so if you've been watching my channel for a little bit, you know that I'm a Canon shooter. I really like Canon, but I'm also a huge technology camera nerd. So I love new stuff and I love anything that changes the game or disrupts the industry. You also know that I love talking about new stuff. But before we jump into this video and into talking about the new Sony a6400, I want to say hello, quick shout out to all the new subscribers on my channel. If this is the kind of video that you're interested in, go ahead and hit the like button. That tells me what you guys like. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button now and you'll see new videos as I make them. Now, normally I'm making 1 or 2, sometimes 3 videos a week. This week I haven't been able to make a whole lot because I got home from CES and got the crud. I don't know that you can go to CES without getting sick, but I went and I got sick. So I'm finally feeling better and finally feeling like I can actually sit down and talk for 20 minutes or so into the camera and not completely lose my voice and die. A lot of chamomile tea happening over here. You know, I talked about it a little bit in my CES video that the convention really has stopped being a place to announce things. There are announcements that happen there. But the big camera manufacturers really don't want to be overshadowed by each other in releasing new hardware or software updates. Now I know that Nikon came out with a lens, and there was other stuff that was announced, but really, a week later, Sony comes out with a brand new camera. They obviously didn't want this news overshadowed with everything else coming out through CES. About 2 weeks ago, I did a video on Canon cameras and what I think we're going to see in 2019 and kind of what the state of the Canon ecosystem is towards the high end. I got a lot of really great response from that video, a lot of people very interested in that subject. And one of the comments that I got on that video, a lot of the comments that I got on that video, talked about the Canon 7D Mark III. So I went ahead and made another video and we talked about the 7D on its own and what that might look like and really what we're looking for. And then Sony releases this mirrorless camera that, while really just a minor update over the a6300, if you look at it on paper, has a lot of the specs of what we're looking for in a 7D Mark III. Now again, I don't shoot Sony, but man, this camera just looks super interesting. So I wanted to talk about the things that are new, the things that I think are a compromise, why I'm not super upset about those compromises, and I'm gonna show you a little trick that'll fix the #1 critique of this camera. All right, so first things first, here are all the things that are new. It has the same 24 megapixel sensor from the a6300, but it's being paired with a new updated CPU, a new updated imaging processor called the BionZ-X, BionZ-10. I don't know how you say it, but it's new. According to Sony, it gives the camera 2 improvements. Number 1, it ups the ISO on the sensor. Now, again, the sensor isn't updated, but through algorithms and processing capability, it allows you to push that ISO, that usable ISO, up just a little bit more. The other thing that it does is it improves the overall color, especially in skin tones. Now, one of the reasons that I love shooting with Canon is because of the fact that their skin tone reproduction is amazing. It is the best in the industry. They have some of the best color science out there. In what I've seen out of the a7 III, they could use a little bit of work, so I'm glad to hear that they're working on it. They've also increased the frame rate to 11 frames per second and added an electronic mode for silent shooting at 8 frames a second. Now again, think back to the things that we were looking for in a Canon 7D. We wanted 15, 16 frames per second. This is a mirrorless shooter at 11 frames a second, 8 frames silent. That is not bad. It also adds an additional built-in log profile, which Canon's cameras definitely do not do, unless you're getting the upgraded 5D Mark IV or sending your 5D in for upgrade. It has an intervalometer built in, which is very nice. I shoot with the Canon 6D Mark II. One of the reasons that I do that is because it has the built-in intervalometer. I really love that for time lapses and for starfield photography. It's also got built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Also something that I have built into my 6D Mark II that is not in the 7D Mark II that I would expect to see in a 7D Mark III. But let's talk about the star of the show on this camera, and that is its focusing system. It has close to 500 focusing points covering 83% of the sensor. That is phenomenal. Not to mention the fact that they have incorporated their IAF, eye autofocusing system into this new camera. They've also significantly beefed up the real-time auto tracking in the camera. So you have a 24 megapixel APS-C sensor with improved low light performance, real-time tracking, eye autofocus for video and for stills, 11 frames a second with 8 frames a second silent shooting, a built-in log profile, intervalometer, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and it's only $900. Did I mention that in video it shoots 4K full frame? Meaning it's not cropping the frame. It's using the entire frame and then downsampling from 6K to 4K. That is amazing. Maybe I've just been shooting Canon too long. These are phenomenal specs for an APS-C camera, especially priced at $900. I even forgot to mention, the autofocusing system is actually designed the same way that the A9 autofocusing system is, which is their full frame $4,500 mirrorless. So all around, amazing. Just really, really great specs on this camera. Okay, let's talk about the things that are compromised. Let's talk about the things that Sony decided as a company from a marketing perspective, hey, we can't give them everything for $900 because then we're not going to be able to sell any of our more expensive cameras. Let's talk about the things that they held back. Number one, this camera does not have a headphone jack, so you can't real-time monitor. Number two, the EVF is still the same EVF that it has had. Now, the Sony EVF is actually really good, but having now looked at both the Sony, the Nikon, and the Canon all in the same day, I would actually probably say that the Nikon is the best of the bunch, and that Sony's is feeling a little outdated. Speaking of outdated, the 921,000 dot touchscreen on the back, though it is a touchscreen, less than a million pixels when most are going with 2 and some with 3 million pixels. The camera only has USB 2.0, so no USB-C, no USB 3.0. So transferring off the camera, you're going to definitely want to take the card out. You don't want to pull this from the camera. The battery is the same battery that we've seen in the A series for quite some time, and it's rated for a little over 400 shots. The sensor is not changed at all. There's no in-body stabilization. And something that I did not see until I dug really deep into the specifications is that while it does shoot 4K, it does shoot 4K for the whole frame, and it does it at 30, 25, and 24 frames per second. So at 30 frames a second, the image is cropped. At 24 frames a second, it's not. You get the full frame. Okay, so here's why these things don't upset me one bit. Because they found, I think, a really great sweet spot for the specifications that people are looking for at that price point. I think at $900, this is a phenomenal value. There's nothing that Nikon or Canon currently offer that is this size at this price with these specifications. If this was $1,500, take it or leave it. If it was $2,000, it would be way overpriced. But at $900, especially considering the fact that within 3 or 4 months, we'll probably see discounted pricing, this is a great deal. Okay, last but not least, the number one critique that we see of this camera is the fact that the screen on the back flips up, okay? So if you've got the screen up here and you put your Rode Video Mic Pro Plus on your cold shoe or your hot shoe in the back, you can't flip the screen up. And then if you're looking at it, right, the screen's covered by the microphone. So people are screaming about this like it's the end of the world. Well, I've got a fix for you. I put a link down in the description to Amazon to a $15 4-inch rail adapter for a cold shoe. And it'll just move your microphone off in any direction that you need. So if you move it 4 inches this way or 4 inches that way, and then you flip the screen up, you're fine. It's 15 bucks. Well worth the investment considering the fact that you're paying $900 for this camera with all these specs. So if you're looking at this camera and saying, I would love to vlog with this camera, but I can't because my amazing microphone is going to get in the way, go spend $15 on this adapter. Click the link below, okay? I've also got a link down there for the camera itself and links for all the other stuff that I shoot with. Go, buy it. It's totally worth it. This is a great camera. We know the sensor's good, we know the AF is good, and now it's improved, and it's faster, and it's better. So why not? Am I gonna go buy one? No. But that doesn't mean it's not worth it for those of you who are looking for that kind of camera at about that price point. So tell me down in the comments, does the a6400 do everything for you, or is there something missing? Let me know what feature you think this thing is totally lacking. And don't say like 4K 60 or dual card slots. This is a consumer level APS-C camera. It's not going to have that stuff. It does have 120 frame per second 1080p though. I totally forgot about that. Amazing. All right, go ahead and hit the like button if this is the kind of video that you're interested in. Again, welcome if you're new to my channel. If you are new to my channel, introduce yourself down below. I try my best to respond to every single comment. I've just been super under the weather. In the last couple days, there have been a lot of comments to respond to, so I've been a little slow, so I'm sorry. But go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the bell, tells you when I make new videos. And let's make some cool stuff this year, and I will see you in the next video.